the author of In Gad We Trust. His name is Josh Gad, and he's back here on the program. Good to see you, Josh.
I want to be your Aaron Rodgers.
What is it?
I'd like a weekly.
What does that mean?
Standing appointment.
Okay.
Where like what Aaron is to Pat McAfee, I'm to Rich Eisen.
Would you like to do that?
I would.
No. Do you realize that means like no matter where you are, what facility you're in?
Oh, I get it. I've already spoken to the Jets about it.
Yeah.
They were not thrilled.
Tuesdays with Gad.
Tuesdays with Gad.
I'm the new Maury?
Yes.
All right.
I think it makes sense.
Boom.
You know, but, you know, again, you have to be available no matter where you are.
There's AI Josh now. My voice is readily available on any AI program.
Did you have to give your approval for that?
For AI?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
ChatGPT reps don't call you as a celebrity and be like, are you comfortable with us stealing your likeness? No, Chat, I'm not.
There's new IP for them to steal.
Look at this. I wrote this without AI.
You know, it's truly apparent you wrote this, that you did not. No, seriously.
What does that mean?
It's your voice. That's what it means.
Thank you.
It's your voice.
Thank you.
Like, it's clearly you. You know what I mean?
People ask me, like, who was your ghostwriter? And I'm like, that is the most insulting thing I've ever been asked in my life.
No, so that was me not insulting you.
Thank you.
By
No,
saying
I
that this is
appreciate that.
obviously
Yeah.
you
Yes,
writing
thank you.
this book.
Thank you.
You know? And so why did you decide to endeavor this thing?
I wanted to get on your show again. Felt like it had been a while. I got a call from my agent saying, I think you should write a memoir. Mm-hmm. And I laughed and I said, I think you may be the only person outside of my mother who feels this way. And he pitched me on the fact that, like, it's not just about like telling fancy stories about being a celebrity. It's about sharing things that may help others. And as I started to think about my struggles with anxiety, with self-esteem, with self-image, it sort of occurred to me that maybe I do have something to say that could be additive to a social conversation about maybe taboo issues. Mm-hmm. And so I started to mess around, and somebody was crazy enough to, give me money to do this, and the result is this book I'm very proud of. And
you should be. It's fun, Josh Gad. It's a fun book. By the way, our radio audience just rejoined us in the middle of your last answer. The radio audience back here on the Rich Eisen Show. In Gad We Trust, where all books are sold. There it is, the full cover.
Can your radio audience see this?
No, I'll describe it. It's you in religious garb.
This is right.
I would say. Which is a play towards maybe the Book of Mormon as well? Like it's an homage?
It's an homage. It's a gentle homage.
Okay. Again, as a fellow Jew, I don't think Mormons dress that way.
They don't. I found that out the hard way. We took the picture, and then I was like, oh, Mormons don't wear this.
Well, and speaking of our mutual religion, Sacha Baron Cohen wrote the foreword of this book. And called you, you are in the top 3 Afghan Jewish Floridians in the business.
Yes, it was a thank you, Sasha.
I mean, that's quite a small subset of individuals.
So when I thought about the, when I thought about, what that actually provided me in terms of cachet, I'm not sure it did much, but
right, okay.
But it was well intended, I believe.
Yeah, top 3 Afghan Jewish Floridians
I want to know
in the
who
business.
The other 2 are, and Sasha has not provided me with answers.
Is one of them in the front office of the Miami Dolphins?
Oh, God,
I have no
too
idea.
Soon.
Why is it too soon?
How's my team going to be?
Listen,
I love it when I wrote you the other day, and you're like, if inside linebacker's your thing, man, I think I got you covered.
Because you were wondering how I was envisioning their free agent plans at the time of us texting one another. But it's all a puzzle piece, man. Like they're just putting pieces in now. We'll see who they can draft. You never know who you're going to draft. You need 2 to be healthy. That's it. Yeah. Because as a fellow Jet fan, Zach Wilson as the backup, he can get you 3-4 weeks, seriously, and I think he's going to be better.
3-4 plays.
No, he can actually win you some games, but to actually win you the AFC East, I don't know if he'll do that.
Do you miss Rich Kotite?
With every fiber of my being.
Were those the heydays?
Those, if there were any days that had hay in them, it was like, hey, why am I still a Jet fan days? But He's a fellow Staten Islander. He's from my hometown.
Cotai?
Yeah, Cotai. What was the
Bobby
Cannavale, because he's a Jet fan
Yeah.
as well. He once upon a time said the Jets were bad, but not Cotai bad.
Yeah.
And he used Kotite's name as sort of an adjective. Yeah. And then we came up with the jingle that you're not fully bad unless you're Kotite bad. You know?
I love this.
These are the Jets fans who just huddle up together and try and get through the storm.
We forget, but I think the Jets have a more recent playoff victory than the Miami Dolphins at this point.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think so.
Like I haven't seen the Dolphins in my lifetime compete or sniff the Super Bowl. Closest was when I was a kid and Dan Marino got there once, but like that's it.
Have you met the coach yet through your fandom at all?
I have not met Coach McDaniel.
I think you'd like him.
I love him. He's got I loved his 2024 Miami Vice vibe, and I actually think he's a really outstanding coach who's going to continue to blossom. I just wish that some of the plays weren't as cute as they are. And I thought that, or it appeared obvious to me that everybody in the league figured us out last year. And I think you need to be able to adapt. And I think he will. I think this season is going to be hopefully X's and O's again and just getting back to the basics a little bit.
And the defense just has to tighten the bolts a little bit here, obviously. You know, we gotta do that. And I still think that they're the best threat to the Bills in the division. I still think they are.
I think New England is they have so much cap space. They're terrifying to me. I think they have a really outstanding young quarterback. And I'm a little concerned that they have a great coach now who's going to figure it out quickly.
Go on.
They see. Don't feed the animals.
Yeah, because you guys haven't had enough success in your lifetime.
See,
Look, there are 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds who haven't seen a Patriots parade. Think of the kids, Josh.
There's a 44-year-old on this couch who hasn't seen a parade in his lifetime. Think of this young man here. I mean, this new Aaron Rodgers of his generation.
Point taken.
He got you there, Chris.
Fins up!
Where would a parade be in Miami?
Biscayne.
Yeah?
Probably Biscayne.
Is that where it would be? Well, where did the Heat have one when they won it?
I think the Heat do it on Biscayne, and we haven't had one of those in a while either. It's Panthers. I don't know where the Panthers
That's right. Where
did
do the Panthers do it?
Well,
They're the most
Panthers
recent.
are closer to Sawgrass, so I imagine that they did it in Broward. The Panthers look incredible. There's a team that's like teasing dynasty.
Yeah.
Like it's really crazy.
Well, if you got a Kachuk, you're in good business.
Oh, God, so good.
How great did you take in any of that Four Nations hockey stuff or no? That the Kachucks were dominant.
I got into it because social media forced me into it. I didn't come to it naturally.
Right.
Like I really enjoy watching the Panthers, but my passion is football, basketball.
Yes.
And baseball to a certain extent. So hockey is like the only reason I'm into hockey is because the Panthers are really good.
Yes.
But I loved that Four Nations series. That was incredible.
That was great.
And sort of what the NBA should be
No doubt.
doing.
Well, I mean, it happened in the same weekend as the All-Star
It was
game, where it
tough.
was yet another weekend in which, like, you're wondering if the NBA players are really into it, and then you're watching hockey players dropping gloves 3 times in the first 9 seconds of a puck drop. It was a complete contrast.
I didn't even watch live because I think that was the weekend I was at the SNL 50th celebration.
Oh,
and
that was that weekend.
And I watched it. I had recorded it, and it was that good that I didn't know the result. And then I went back and watched it.
How was the SNL 50?
Incredible. I had to leave to come back the Sunday that they did the actual 50th.
So you went to
I did the concert.
Radio City?
The Radio City, and it was like the single greatest concert I've ever been to.
No
in my
kidding.
Life. Yeah.
Who did you see that you were like?
I mean,
jacked about?
look, being a Nirvana fan, the post Nirvana with Post Malone headlining was like just one of the craziest things I've ever seen. But it was just like the totality of it, just seeing generational musicians side by side was like, felt like a modern Woodstock. Like it was just wild. It was incredible.
So who did you run into? You got a good story from that one?
Everybody. There was a moment when I was going to the bathroom and I was sandwiched between Larry David, Adam Sandler, Billy Crystal, Mike Myers. It was Bryan Cranston. Like, it was just, it was one of those nights where it's like you couldn't turn without seeing somebody.
I'm mandated to follow up. When you say you're crammed in between in the men's room, not the same stall, right? I mean, like, that would be weird.
No, we all had to share one stall. Radio City has very...
By the way...
It was a trough like Wrigley Field?
Yes, it's a Wrigley Field-style trough.
Yeah, it's like the ancient Roman...
Yeah. No, we were actually all, like, outside of the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
Although that would be far greater if we were all just sharing, like, one little urinal.
Right, it would be performance issues, I would think.
I had that happen to me once.
What do you mean?
I was pissing next to Warren Beatty at a Dodgers game.
It's the greatest Mad Lib ever.
And like, I'm so much shorter in every way to Warren Beatty. And I just froze.
Yeah.
And I heard his strong waterfall to my like soft little trickle. And it was just really upsetting. It was just really upsetting.
I guess that's what happens when he had to have at one point had to pee next to like Andy Warhol, right? You know what I mean?
No, I don't think
like he's got experience.
I don't think with what he's working with, at least according to the sound, I don't think he's ever had a moment where he's gone on a subsequent radio show and been like, he had the upper hand. That never happened with Warren.
And here I thought the song "You're So Vain" was about his personality. Ladies and gentlemen. Wow. In Gad We Trust, where all books can be acquired.
Oh, yes, please buy my new book. And also, I have a book.
And another thing.
Radio people, we're holding it up.
So, listen, when you write a book, you want someone to buy it to read the stories. So I don't want to spoil too much, but there are a couple things I want to ask specifically about from your book. The first adventure in Los Angeles, where you showed up to an ex's house and her new boyfriend was there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
it doesn't tell me who her boyfriend is. Mm-hmm. She wasn't an ex,
okay,
but a good friend.
Okay,
and she invites me over there, and I show up, and there's this very large door, and the door opens, and it's Jeff Goldblum and my friend, both in matching bathrobes, welcoming in to their palatial estate. And I go inside, and they sit. There's like this triangular figuration of these little cushions, and they're sort of like on the equal side, and I'm the little triangle, and I'm facing them, and they're like very revealing bathrobes. And Jeff starts playing a Meisner exercise game with me, which is like where you say a word and then the other actor repeats it. And it was the most surreal, wild experience of my life. And then he ends this game and he goes, "Oh, you're good. You should audit my class." And I was like, "What? Audit? You have a class? And you need me to do your class? You're Jeff Goldblum. You don't need me."
Oh my God.
So I never did audit his class. Although, like, if you're still teaching, Jeff, I would like to now audit this class.
I think you should.
Because, like, now I regret it.
This story sounds like it was chock full of awkward silence.
It was one of the weirdest experiences of my life, but also like one that I'm so grateful to have had.
Of course, you got to live in the moment,
and
man.
I see him randomly at like social events, but I don't have the courage to go up to him because I'm sure he doesn't remember. So I don't have the courage to like go up to him and like ask him about where those bathrobes are.
I was going to go that the most odd part about it is matching bathrobes.
Yeah, I just, but like maybe it was sort of like some sort of like prank or something. I've never quite figured it out.
You've been punked? You were being punked at the time? Harrison Ford denied you a selfie.
That's the greatest.
What happened?
I was at a party, was walking with Haley Steinfeld. They had just done a movie together, and Haley goes over and takes a picture with him. And I had worked with Harrison years before in a terrible movie called Crossing Over. And we had gotten a picture, and I looked like Rosie O'Donnell in the picture. And I wanted another picture. Not that the Rosie is beautiful, but I shouldn't look like Rosie. And I go up to Harrison. Now I'm wearing, I have my hair done. I'm wearing a nice tuxedo. And I go, Harrison, I would love to take Mr. Ford, I'd love to take a picture with you. And he goes, no. And I said, but you just took a picture with that little girl. And he goes, I know. She's a little girl.
Wow.
By the way, greatest way to not get a picture with Harrison Ford. Like, that is a story that is worth more than any picture with Harrison Ford.
If only somebody took a picture of you having this conversation with him.
I know.
That would have been so meta. Oh, my
Where's
God.
the paparazzi when you want them?
Haley Steinfeld, the future bride of the one
Josh
individual who might make you the most miserable as a football fan over the next 5 years.
Taylor, my exec who works with me, she's sitting over there, die-hard Bills fan.
As is the coordinating producer of this show, listening to this conversation.
Oh, you guys must be so excited. You got Bosa. Yay. Good luck. It's not being passive-aggressive. It's just me being a dick.
Yeah, he can confirm that. That's for sure.
You guys should have gone to the Super Bowl this season.
You know what? There was a ton of Chiefs fatigue in this nation on that AFC Championship Sunday.
Fair, but yes, and it made me laugh so hard because then everybody was reminded of how awful Philadelphia fans are in victory. And they all got fatigue within 1 hour of that win.
Eagles
and I was on that bandwagon. I was like, I'm done with the Chiefs. Oh, God, give me the Chiefs back. Like, if you burn your city after you win, guys, you're missing the plot. Like, that's the good stuff. This is what we all want.
Oh, my gosh. 1 hour after the Super Bowl, you've got Eagles fatigue. That's pretty damn fast.
Didn't take long.
Yeah, and then they re-signed Saquon, all that money.
Can you
and
explain to me
Sure.
how they manage to maintain that roster? How everybody else in this league has to give up they have to give up 3 to save 1. How do the Eagles do it?
Well, twofold. First of all, that's a very Joe Burrow question he's asking there in Cincinnati about wanting to sign everybody there, too. I don't know. I'm not a capologist. I don't play one on TV. I just know that they've got some really smart people, starting with the general manager, who signs his guys early.
That's the key.
Helps.
That is the key.
Helps to go to Devontae Smith and say, how would you like to sign? And he signs for less than what A.J. Brown signs for, who's now a bargain compared to what, DK Metcalf is making or CeeDee Lamb is making. The Bengals haven't signed Jamar Chase yet, as you know. He's rightfully going to ask for, money between Max Crosby and Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, but if you did it last year before the season, then it would be a different story, and he'd be signed, and you wouldn't be in this soup potentially right now.
No, the Philadelphia GM is unbelievable. He's unbelievable.
He's a University of Florida graduate.
Is he a Gator?
He is a Gator.
Oh, I love him even more.
And
Howie. Do people know this, that I'm a Gator fan?
I did not know that.
Both my brothers are Gators. Both my brothers went to UF.
So, Howie Roseman is a Gator who just sitting in that chair a couple of weeks ago, we heard the story from his college roommate, who happens to be Coach Fish, who coaches University of Washington now. He told the story of how they were roommates at the University of Florida, and Howie, in their room together, was trying to pick the draft picks for the Jets, who were his favorite team in college.
Oh, my God.
Because he wanted to be a general manager when he grew up or got out of college.
That's unreal.
So that's, he's been born to do it.
Yeah.
Does that give you an answer?
That gave me like a longer answer than I ever asked for, but yes, I love it. Like, I never imagined you giving me his full backstory going back to school.
Yes. And so before I let you go, in this book, there is a chapter.
This is my book. It's called In Gad We Trust. It's on sale now, radio people.
Wherever you get your books, here, I can place it exactly where the camera's supposed to catch it. There it is. That's production value.
Thank you.
That there's a one-page chapter written by Ron Howard about Ron Howard that that reeks of you asking him as well as Sacha Baron Cohen for a forward, and you didn't think both of them would actually
That is
do
exactly what happened. I asked 3 of them. I asked Mel Brooks, Sacha Baron Cohen, and Ron. Sacha got back to me first.
Yes.
And then I was like, oh no, I need to give these guys additional space in my book.
Right.
So that's when I came up with the afterword and the Howard for Ron.
Oh, that's funny.
And Mel, how did you ever? Give me your Mel Brooks connection here, man.
Mel is so we're working together on an independent film called Spaceballs 2 right now. And
Are you serious?
what?
yes.
Excuse me?
Say-
Can you say all that? Just rewind. Say it again.
Mel Brooks and I are currently working together on a project called Spaceballs 2.
Wow.
And he has been the most exquisite partner. He's so I have our sessions recorded for posterity because the world needs to see how brilliant he is and how electric he is at 98 years old still. The guy he doesn't miss a beat. He doesn't miss a beat.
Dude.
So yeah, wait, let me see the book for a second. Of
course.
So the end of the book, I asked him to write me something. And he goes, I give him the afterword because, again, he responded after Sacha did. But he writes in the book, wait, where is it?
I love this.
He writes in the book, he goes, Dear Josh, I know I promised you a wonderful blurb for your new book, but after reading it, I find myself struggling to say something nice. If I get a positive thought that's not too destructive, I'll send it along. All the best, Mel. I mean, like, that is my hero for a reason.
So, are we getting the gang back together for this?
We'll
film?
talk off camera and
Hey.
off radio.
Okay.
I will get killed by the Amazon MGM executives
all right.
if
Let's
I
not
say
do it.
any words about this movie that are not yet sanctioned.
Okay.
But watch this.
Space.
Very well done.
Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Gad.
Unbelievable.
In
Love you,
Gad We
Rich.
Trust.
So I'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
Tuesdays with Gad.
Tuesdays with Gad.
Very excited about
Anything
this.
you want to talk about for 45 unfettered minutes. Josh Gad right here on The Rich Eisen Show. Everybody get this book wherever you can get right now. Catch The Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.